Hello friends, do you know that you can size any inverter in less than 10 minutes? I'll show you how you can do that in this video. First of all, my name is Daniel and I'm a solar trainer and also I'm a consultant. I talk about how you can go from the basics of solar installation to the fundamentals and also to the maturity aspect. And I teach practical examples, what you can apply on your day-to-day activities, either as a business owner in solar industry or as a solar installer. So in this particular video, I want to talk about how you can size an inverter. Someone asked me to do this on my previous video when I did about the sizing of cables, and someone commented that I should talk about how to size an inverter, and I want to do this in less than 10 minutes. So what you see now on the slide is the basic step on how you can do that. So if you can see my screen right now, the the first thing you need to do whenever sizing an inverter is that you need to have a table like this, not always in the board, but you can have it in your book. You can have a sheet of paper and a pen, and you just draw something like this down. The first thing you want to do now is to write the serial number, which what we have here. You can see here we have from 1 to 12. The next thing you want to do now is to identify the load. Now, if the customer reach out to you and say, I want to install inverter in my house, the first thing to do now is to know what do you want to power with this inverter. So identifying inverter loads are very important. For this video, we have 12 loads that we've identified. The next thing we want to know is, are those load inverter friendly or are those load not on inverter friendly? So for this video, all these things, I suppose they are all the new modern appliances. Like for our washing machine, these are all inverter washing machine, inverter AC, and also inverter pressing iron, and also inverter microwave. But in the case where the customer does not have an inverter iron or inverter microwave, then it's not advisable for you to use that. So what you want to do next is to identify the quantity of each of this load, which is for this next space. The third thing to do now is to identify the total wattage or the power rating of each of these load. Now, the next slide I will be showing you is how you can use for you to get a better understanding, and how you can get to know the wattage is just looking at the back of each of the appliances. For your TV, check the back of every TV, you will see a label, and that label is where you see power rated and the rated power, and you may see the watt of each of these appliances. For your fan is by the side, for your bulb it can be at the side, for your AC also is at the side, for your laptop it's at the laptop charger, and for your pumping machine is also by the side. And if it's not something that you can get your hand on, you can just call the client and ask them about the power rating of those appliances, and you write them down. Now, this I suppose is the a basic appliances that every houses have. Each houses, every average home in Nigeria has a TV, fan, bulb. Okay, not all have an AC or a laptop or pumping machine. Most lives in the rented house, and that pumping machine may be a general pumping machine, right? Or let's say for the sake of this course, we have a pumping machine and we have an AC, an air conditioner, and we have a fridge. So we've identified the load, we've identified the quantity which we have here. We've also identified the power rating for each of these appliances. So how we get the total wattage is by adding up the power by the quantity. This gives us total wattage. So on getting to this particular section, or getting to this place, we have a total watt of 5,440. Now, the mistake that most installers do is that they size their inverter based on just this swap alone. And if a someone that is not professional enough will decide to give a customer a 5K VA, simply maybe the customer may tell you things like, okay, if I'm owning my pumping machine, I will turn off my AC. Or if I'm owning my fridge, I will off my fan. And you don't want to be able to size your inverter based on things being on or things being off. You want to be able to understand the peak load. The peak load is if all these systems are being on at the same time, what what did they generate? What are the total power they generate? And if all the systems are being on at the same time, it generates a total power of 5,440. One thing I want to pay attention here is that if you look at our AC, you notice that we have a multiplication of 3 here. And also our pumping machine has a multiplication of 3, and our fridge has a multiplication of 4. This is something that most installers doesn't pay attention, because an AC rated, a 1 horsepower AC rating 5,005, so 750 watt doesn't mean that it's 750 watts. It's what we call surge power. A surge power is the the starting power of an AC. An AC can generate up to 3 times its running power. That's to say, if this AC is 1 horsepower, it is 750 watts. It can generate 3 times of this wattage before it can drop down to the normal wattage. The same thing with our pumping machine, the same thing with our fridge. Now, our fridge has a surge, which a carburetor which can generate 4 times its starting power, its running power. So you have to pay attention to all those details in sizing your inverter. So, having gotten to this point, the best thing for you to do now is to apply the law of use. Now, what is the law of use? The law of use states that most inverters are 80% use. And a very good example is that a 10 kV inverter is mostly rated 8 kVA. That's to say, it has a 20% 20% depth of discharge, or a 20% storage or space that it doesn't allow you to get to that point. So you are not expected to exceed 80% of the inverter load or the inverter total capacity. The same way, when sizing an inverter, you have to pay attention to those details as well to identify um, having a maximum of 80% gap. So what you need to do now is to the common mistake to avoid is remember to always ask the customer if there will be a chance where the customer will want to apply future load or add more load in the future. Then you can be able to add have a way to add up to this. So the best thing to do now is that you want to multiply 5,440 by 25%, and whatever it gives you, you approximate it to the next standard inverter size. That is your inverter capacity that can carry this. And if you simply do that, what you may get is 7,000 something. And if you approximate it, you a 7.5 kVA inverter will handle all these appliances effectively. And if the customer you want to add a future load, then you can probably use a 10 kVA inverter just to accommodate if there's going to be a future expansion. So I have a video course that I do talking about the basics of, it's called the Solar Installation Master Course. I talk about the basics, from basics to the advanced and to the maturity class on solar installation. You can check that on my link below, and you can just comment on this video what has been helpful to you, and you can also like this video. You can also hit the notification bell so that whenever I make a new video, you can always be the first to see it. And you can just tell me, you can share your thought with me, what video do I make next, so that our it can help our channel grow more. And like I said, I have a full course video on how you can, not just how you can size an inverter, but how you can size a battery, how you can size an inverter, a solar panel, and how you can go from an advanced section to owning a business in solar installation. So thank you very much for those video. I hope it has been very, very helpful to you. See you in the next.